Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone for being here today. I want to take a moment to address the incident that occurred on March 4th, 2025, involving a small child, an incident that gained attention on social media. Is there something?
I think the mic stand is bumping the podium.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
That's right. There you go.
So, but before I get started, I want to go ahead and mention individual up here with me now. We have Mayor Nathaniel Birdsong, City Manager T. Michael Starvis, Assistant City Manager Charlie Bird, Pastor Dollison of First Missionary Baptist Church, Bishop Mincy of True Holiness Tabernacle, Tawana Dutney of Hearst Chapel AME, Wilford Smith of Northeast Neighborhood Association, Bishop Joe Lewis, Open Door True Holiness, and Abdul Aktib, Youth Pastor at First Missionary Baptist Church. We thank them for being up here with us. But at approximately 1:54 p.m., Winter Haven police officers responded to a reported disturbance involving a firearm at Santiago's on Havendale Boulevard. The altercation took place between 29-year-old Godfrey Hercules II and a store employee, 46-year-old Jesus Crespo Perez. Several 911 calls were made regarding the incident. Hercules then left the scene, prompting a be on the lookout for his vehicle, which also had a female passenger and a small child. Officers later located the vehicle at the American Legion, where Hercules and the woman and the child had exited the vehicle. Hercules was quickly taken into custody, while the female, 27-year-old Mariah Banks, complied with officers' commands to get on the ground. Her child, mirroring her actions, also got on the ground. Upon securing Ms. Banks, officers immediately transitioned to care and concern for the child. A Diamondback 9mm firearm was found inside the vehicle. Given the use of the firearm during the initial incident at Santiago's, an unknown risk, officers responded with an appropriate level of caution. It is important to clarify that at no point did any officer aim a weapon at the child. Body-worn cameras and other footage confirms that once officers realized the child was present, the firearm was immediately lowered to a safe position. In this case, both Hercules and Banks were released, and the store employees choose not to press charges. However, complaint affidavits have been filed at the State Attorney's Office for an affray and improper display of a weapon. Our priority remains the safety of our community, and we take these incidents seriously. We appreciate the public's concern and want to assure everyone that our officers acted appropriately and with the safety of all individuals, including the child, in mind. I also want to say, the optics are bad. Now, we're not going to skip around it. The optics of this incident are bad. They're terrible. You know, I truly wish that this child was not exposed to this. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, just like the officers that responded. In hindsight, I wish there was something that we can do to change how this young lady engaged with us or how we engaged with her. I know moving forward, we're definitely going to be looking at ways and other avenues that we can safely and effectively engage with our citizens in situations like this. It's not to say that this won't happen again. I'm not going to sit up here and say that. We're going to try to do everything in our power to mitigate it for our kids. You know, I am sorry. I spoke to the mother and her father yesterday, and I apologize to them for that. But regarding our policies, the officers did everything within our policies. I acknowledge that. So what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to walk you through the incident using our video. Okay? So let's go to Santiago. This is the call that we received. Incident at Santiago's on Havendale Boulevard. I want to make it clear. I want to make it clear on something with this video. This is just how it started. This is not the reason that we are here. Okay? The reason that we are here is what happened to that young lady during this incident. So, what we have, there were some allegations that Ms. Banks was doing something in the parking lot. Her boyfriend, Mr. Hercules, came to her rescue, so to speak, and confronted the individuals who were making those allegations. As you will see here in the video, an altercation does ensue when a firearm is brandished. That's Mr. Hercules there in the frame. Miss Banks by the car door. That's the red Nissan Altima. And that's their daughter standing on the sidewalk. Yes. The background chatter that you hear here is us re-recording the video on photo surveillance for Santiago. So that's us talking, and they're giving us a narrative.
Here, I got one more for you in front of the hospital.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the incident at Santiago. At 3 minutes and 11 seconds in that video, that's where you see Mr. Hercules pull out his firearm. He racked it 2 times and put it back in his pocket. However, that did not stop Mr. Perez. It didn't matter he had a firearm. But while this was going on, we had one employee inside call 911 and make the call. The call originally came out as an armed robbery with a firearm, specifically stating that there was a black male with a firearm. A patron that was there also called. He said, no one here is calling, so I'm calling. Called in and gave the same description. Got a bolo of the vehicle, a description of the vehicle, which was relayed to the other officers in the field. A red Nissan Altima with a black male, female, and a child in the vehicle. Okay, let's go on to the other video. Yes. Now the next video you're going to see is the incident from a different angle, and this is at the American Legion. The vehicle was located by the officers, and we responded to that area. We had a total of four officers initially responding. And I'll set this up. In the video, you're going to see Mr. Hercules and Ms. Banks. They're there at the tag agency. So they're waiting around, and then when we show up here shortly, it's going to be a little bit moving forward. We're probably going to scrub through it a little bit so we can, to save some time. You'll see us when we show up, and that's when the events start occurring. Okay, what you saw in that video, Miss Banks and Hercules, they discussed it, they observed law enforcement. So they said, okay, we don't want this to happen in front of our child, so Hercules, you go over there to the side of the building. That's why you see him walking to the other side of the building, which is commendable. And as you saw, she was getting ready to leave, then she saw another vehicle, and then she turned around, pulled out her phone, and started running towards Mr. Hercules to film. I'm not here to judge that. We're not here to talk about that. I'm just explaining what's going on. That's not the issue. And at that time, there's an officer there. It's the canine officer who gives the first commands for her to get down. We're attempting, at this time, you got to remember, we have a bolo out for an armed disturbance, person with the firearm. We don't know who has the firearm. We don't know who has it. We don't know where the firearm is. We just have to secure the people that's there. At that time, you can see Ms. Banks went to the ground. Her daughter just went to the ground with her. We did not order her daughter to the ground. The officer came around the side of the car. Now, this is the footage from the American Legion. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the footage. I want the footage from the other officer. Yes. And this is going to show his response.
Anybody else, anyone 51 to this location?
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back, honey.
Hey, I want to prepare you for something. You're going to hear something that's going to be disturbing coming from the child, and it's her view. That's why it's important for us to understand what's going on in this particular incident. But I want to prepare you for that as we go through this video.
Can I ask why I'm being detained?
All right. We'll just keep playing it. Yeah. Go ahead and bring your knees up. There you go. Here you go. There you go. I'm gonna help you up, okay?
Alright.
There you go. Look. You want your candy? Here you go. Won't give you a lighter.
It's okay, Cynthia. You can put it on speaker.
Okay. Where's the... Oh.
Good. Right there. Hello? Yeah. I don't know what's going on, girl. They just came and pulled us at the DMV. And they got both of us in handcuffs.
I'm not.
No. Me and Gunna in handcuffs right now. Girl, I don't know why I'm in handcuffs, because I didn't touch nobody, I didn't do anything to nobody, so I don't know why I'm in handcuffs right now.
We're not going to go.
I'm not gonna run, I promise you I won't run. Just get my daughter to me, make sure she's okay.
Alright. Yeah, let's go around this way.
Okay.
No, ma'am, I'm not. Watch the pool. Alright, come over here. On this side. I'm gonna put you right here, okay? Just gonna have you sit. I'm gonna go ahead and have you sit, okay? I'm not gonna close the door or nothing. That's fine. Have a seat. No, you're good. Yeah, if you want to. Huh? I'm not, I promise. I promise I won't. This is my buddy. This is Officer Fitch.
What's she got there? A lot out there?
Oh, we're not going to, I promise.
Were they supposed to have a child?
Yeah, we are 10-12 with the child as well.
What's your name? Symphony? That's a pretty name. It's okay. I promise. I got
I
you.
think y'all made my baby feel herself.
Do you have any diapers or anything like that?
She's potty trained, so she doesn't wear diapers.
Oh, okay. Well, how old are you?
How old are you?
Show them your fingers.
You're already potty trained? That is awesome. Give me 5.
You use the
Yeah.
potty with the big girl? Yeah. I know there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, good. I have a little boy. He's 3. He's as tall as you.
Then have officers come talk with you. That's all.
You're okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take your necklace off, or I'm sorry, your lanyard. Do you have any ID on you?
No, not on me at the time. I
Is there any,
don't.
what do you have in here?
There's nothing in there.
No, just rocks?
Yeah, she was playing with.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just the rock?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, go ahead and have a seat for me. Hey, Jeff. Bryce, is there a way we can move your car right up here so she can get out? Oh, yeah, you're good. Okay, you're good. You're fine. Okay. All right, go on. Go back to my car. Right here. Yeah, I got it. It's on the front. Yeah. Go. Whiskey pops over there. Is whiskey 681, is she available to be in 51?
She got the signal 53 off me. She can't go because she's 17.
10 for. Is there an available 1093 unit that can be 51 in reference to search? Where they?
Take my wrist a little bit.
So keep your hands just like this, because I can put my finger through here on that one, and just keep your hand here, because I can put my finger through there, okay, hon? It's just, it's how you move. If you have them like this,
I don't
they're gonna
know.
be
I
tight.
ain't never been no handcuffs before, so this
I
is
understand.
not comfortable.
No, I understand. If you, 10.
Okay, what you saw there were the officers making contact with Ms. Banks and her child, temporarily being detained on the side of the vehicle. You also see our officers immediately transition to care for the child and Ms. Banks. That's important to note. I know there's been many things said about we're just letting the kids stay out there. As you can see, that is not true. It is very important to note that these officers did a fantastic job transitioning from taking down an alleged armed subject to acting like a simple dad and mom that's caring about this child out here. And that was a fantastic job on my officer's part, and they're to be commended for that portion of their actions here. We're going to go to the next portion of it. This is another video, another body cam footage. The one that you're going to see the officer come up and he's going to directly engage with Ms. Banks.
Get down. Put your hands out in front of you. Put your hands out. Stay down. Just don't move. Don't move. Folks, clear out, please. Clear. Move.
I'm going to pause this here real quick. If you see his hands is in the video because it is covering his body cam. Not intentionally. He is at the compressed low ready position. The body cam is in the center mass of the body. So it's naturally when you go to low ready compressed position, your hand is inevitably covering the camera. Nothing intentional here, as you saw the different angles from this incident. One from the American Legion. This is his body cam. The firearm is pointing down. Anytime you see his hands or the tip of the firearm is pointing down. It's not pointing in the direction of Ms. Banks or her child. As soon as he turned around and got past the car, the canine officer is the one, like I said, identified Ms. Banks and told her to stop because she was going towards her boyfriend. He was running towards him. The canine officer stopped her. At that point in time, told her to get to the ground, and that's when this officer took over, got to the rear of the red car, did not see the child at that time. When he saw the child, immediately, that tip came down. Keep rolling.
We'll get it out in a minute. You good? You good there? Get his phone, get his phone. Come on. Let me get you up, ready? 1, 2, 3. Sit up. I'll be sorry you pulled out a knife on me. You're not eating my family. You stand up? I have to stand up. Yeah, I got it. Don't put him on that CSO. Nearly unlock the door. Did they show you on the video? We'll get that in a minute, sir.
Show up, and you got also with
Hey, I have CSO. I got CSO in there.
Am I going in the phone? I can't follow. You know me? Hello? Hello?
What's that?
Yeah. There's someone who called my brother, your brother? Yeah, I'm gonna arrest or something? Yeah, bro. It's this one right here. Oh.
Can I? Yeah, I got 5 minutes to get there. You don't know our show coming through? Yeah. Awesome. So,
Okay, and this video, you saw the other angle. You saw the officer come up there around the car like I spoke of before. And at that point in time, made contact. He was the second person to tell Miss Banks to get down. As you saw, her daughter just got down beside her. And at that point in time, our thought process is, let's secure her and get her up. 100%. Let's get it done. Let's get it done quickly. And then we can go ahead and move them and start providing the proper care for the people there, the mother, the father, and the child. With that said, there's a lot to unravel with these videos. And I know we're just getting a little snippet of it here, but as we move forward here throughout this, we can go ahead and start answering any little questions that you may have. Yes, ma'am.
Can you share what is standard procedure when a child is involved in a situation like this? Because you say they immediately comforted the child, but some may argue that she was on the ground at the same amount of time that the mother was on the ground, so it wasn't as immediate as people probably would have hoped.
When I'm saying immediate, when I'm talking about immediate, I'm talking about as soon as we secured her mother. Okay, that's what I mean by immediate. There was no one else to take control or custody of that child at that time. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting up here trying to defend anything, and maybe we got to look at looking at our policies in a certain way. The policies, the policies are fine. I think we have to look at how we're going to address these situations moving forward. This is not the first time someone has been arrested and had a child with them. You know, if we were looking for a homicide suspect, you think we are going to stop and say, hey, wait a minute, we're not going to arrest you because you have a child with you? That is not going to happen. We are going to effect that arrest. And we're going to do it the best way we can with the care and custody of that child. In this particular incident, Monday morning quarterbacking it, I wish we would have done it a lot more swiftly. Get up to her as fast as possible so we can get her off the ground. But it is what is known to the officers at the time. At the time, they had someone that was armed with a firearm. They're on scene. They're there. Now, with this, we're going to take apart what they did well and some things, and then we're going to train on that. Because there was a lot of great things in that video. A lot of great things. Let's not overlook that. They did some great things there. When you look at that video, the first thing your mind goes to is that baby sitting on the ground. I'm sorry, we can't get away from it. And I'm not gonna, and everything else that happened in this particular incident absolutely means nothing to me. My concern is that child. Remind me of my doggone granddaughter. That's what I saw. I will not have my granddaughter out there on the ground. I will not have none of these citizens' kids out there. But we are going to effect these arrests. We will protect these citizens out here.
Chief, when you hear that little girl in the video say, please don't kill us, what is your reaction?
That's heartbreaking. It is a sad commentary that we, in a society today, that our kids, when you walk up to them and you're in uniform, that's the first things that come out of their mouth. They're thinking we're going to take them to jail. And we train our kids to do that. Oh, here's a cop, we're going to come get you. There's not one law enforcement officer that'll go in a restaurant and some kids start acting up, kids being kids, a parent's not going to say, hey, I'm going to tell the cop to get you. We're conditioning these kids. That's part of it. But at the same time, we in law enforcement, we have to start educating these people. Don't say that. I have no problem running up to a parent saying, don't say that to your kid. Now I tell the kid, I'm not going to take you to jail. We have to start somewhere. We've got to start somewhere. We got to stop playing this blame game all the time. No, we need to find solutions. And fortunately, we have a community over here in Winter Haven that is looking for those solutions. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I can't get past it. I can't get past it just like no one else can. You know, I'm sorry that that little girl had to go through that. The adults made their own bed, they can lie in it. But our children, our future, they do not deserve this.
Chief, why not immediately ask the child to get up?
Who's going to take the child? Who's going to take control and custody of that child?
There's no reason that you could have had there was no officer on scene that could have asked her to step up and move away, because
No.
there are the officer's commands. The officer's commands were hands behind your back on, which is not specific.
Hold on one second. I'm going to go one here, then I'm going to come right back to you. There's 2 officers there. 2 were on the gentleman over there at the corner, Mr. Hercules, and there was 2 with her. 1 was covering. Now understand, we're still looking for a firearm. If we got her up, where are we going to take her? How are we going to secure her? That's why I said we need to get to her quickly. And maybe this is something that we got to look at. I'm going to get with my command staff and my training staff. We're going to get together and we're going to train on this at our quarterly training. We're going to come up with a solution on how we can better address this. This is not going to last time that this is going to happen. I'm going to tell you this. Like I said, it happens every day. But it's brought to our attention. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to find a way to try to fix this.
The community looks at the video different than a police officer,
Correct.
right? So your answer is you have to have someone with the child.
Correct.
That's the policy, like, for lack of a better term.
No, that's just common sense. How am I going to grab a child and just tell her, hey, go run around over here? The next thing you know, we can't find that child. Who's responsible?
Runs away.
She runs away. Something can happen to her. And like I said, I wasn't there on scene. That's the officer's decision, and I stand behind their decision. I just wish, like I said, this is Monday morning quarterbacking, and I'm not going to do that for them. I'll take that back. I'm not going to do that for those officers. We're within policy. But was it optically right? No. The optics are terrible. 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 Yes, ma'am. Now I'm going to get back to your question. What was that again, please?
I was saying, with the 2 of them on the ground and asking why the child wasn't even either instructed to stand up, move away, pull away. And that was what I was asking, is couldn't the child been given either instructions to stand up, take a step away, someone asked the child to move away? At
At the time, the officers should be focused on that individual right there that they're trying to take into custody. We don't know if she has a firearm under her. We have one officer standing over there in the low-ready position covering, and he's in a vulnerable position because he's down there trying to cuff her. And who's going to watch the child? Because if that was your child and something happened, I'd be doggone, you'd be up here Monday morning complaining about something. And I would not blame you. 100%. Yes, ma'am.
So is it fair to say that it's proper procedure to make the arrest first and then address all of the other?
How this particular situation went out, yes. And it's not going to say everything is like this every single time. Every incident is fluid. And that's what we have to understand. And we have to find, like I said, this is not the first time that an arrest has been made and a child has been there. It's not going to be the last one. Probably a couple of them going on right now as we speak. But this has brought attention to it, and it has brought attention to the point that, hey, you know what, we might want to train on this. This is something that we encounter every single day. And our men and women, like I said, they transition perfectly. Those are 2 seasoned officers there. They used to be school resource officers. You can tell the way that they were engaging, immediately engaging that young lady. Stepped down and gave her candy, trying to calm and soothe her. But at the same time, he still has to monitor the person we have in custody. But that didn't matter to him. I'll be honest, if you look at the video, that did not matter. He focused on her. That lady could have hit him upside the head and took off running. He was looking at that child. I have no problem with that at that moment. Yes?
I have a couple questions about the initial incident. The gentleman's being charged with a fray.
Yes, ma'am.
It looked from the video like the employee was not de-escalating the situation. Is he facing any charges? Also, did he brandish a knife? I couldn't tell in the video.
I didn't see a knife. Did you see one?
The top was kind of blocking a lot of it.
No, it wasn't.
I
I did not see a
That was
knife.
just my view.
But when you see it, and if you get a look at a video again, at 3:11 is when the firearm came out. The first time I went through it, I missed it too. But the charges, they did not want to cooperate after that, I believe. believe after they saw the video, they did not want to cooperate.
The employee?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Are you looking into finding other angles from that altercation? Because the man does say that the employee gestured his pocket and slightly pulled out a knife, and that's why he pulled out his gun. So are you guys looking into seeing if there's other angles?
We're always looking for other video. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because the call, 911 call was for an armed robbery?
Yes, it came out as an armed robbery. She's, in the dispatch call, she pretty much mentioned that there was a black male with a gun. So at that point in time, the dispatch wrote it up as an armed robbery. And then it was later reclassified to a disturbance. So our response was heightened. Regardless if it's an armed robbery or an armed disturbance, our response was heightened because we had an armed element. It's just not a typical response.
Is there anything that anybody from the church community can say here as far as calming people's nerves? Because clearly there's a bit of tension in the community right now. Based upon what you've seen?
Good afternoon. As mayor of this city and a lifelong resident of this city, I've served in this city for over 23 years as a city commissioner. Have been a part of the police department and recognize where we've come from, how our department has grown, and how we police, how we community police. I can say to you, I was actually in Bible study, noonday Bible study, yesterday when I got information about this incident. And I was under the impression at the time that it was happening right then. However, the previous day, I was at Gessler's clinic with my wife, who's having glaucoma surgery, and a lady in the audience said, "Oh, there's a shooting, there's an incident, a robbery at Santiago's market." And a helicopter was involved. So I said all that to say this. I was appalled when I saw the video clip. I said, how in the world could this happen in our city? That's how I felt. I have sons and I have 4 grandchildren. I'm from a family of a large, 12 of us. Grew up right here in Winter Haven. But this morning and yesterday evening, after talking to the city manager and getting the true, all of the facts, I couldn't wait until this morning to see the actual videos. Did it change my opinion? It relieved me to know that our officers handled the situation, the incident, with integrity and care. I still have a problem with the child being on the ground. And I have a problem with the child asking the question about, are you going to shoot us, or, you know. That really bothers me. But I have to say to you, That goes far beyond the Winter Haven Police Department. That's a societal problem that we face, that everybody in this room face. And we all gotta work towards addressing that issue. But to stand here before you this morning and say to you that I am relieved that our police department handled this particular situation with the utmost of care, professionalism, and dignity. And at the end of the day, that's what we deserve, that's what we want. And that's what's required in the Winter Haven Police Department. So I know that was a very, very long answer, but people that know me know that I have a tendency to be long-winded when you put me in front of a mic. Anyone else? Thank you.
Well, are there any more questions?
I just have a quick question. So, does this mean that, because the employee didn't want to file any charges, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
but you still submitted charges to the state attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
So the state attorney can still decide to file charges?
They can
against
decide
the
what they
individual?
want to do, yes, ma'am.
And the mom and the child was never detained, but they were released shortly after
Yes.
the video.
Once we had the person go up there and look at the video and investigate it a little bit further, that's when they were all released. Like I said, at the time, it was fluid. We had an armed subject out there. But, like the mayor said, and I'm not gonna, there's no way to get around it. I am also troubled, as with everybody in the community, and I'm thankful that we have a community that's compassionate. You know, I would have a problem if I'm sitting here and no one from the community had an issue with that. I'm like, where are we at as a society? That's a problem. I have a problem with it. I understand it. I understand it. And like I said, the situation was fluid. We had to take a person into custody. Like I said, it's not the first time, will not be the last time. But we're going to try to do things to mitigate it. We will be looking at ways to mitigate it and possibly train on it. And hopefully, in the future, we won't have nothing like this. Not to say that it's not going to happen. We are not putting these kids in these positions. If a person has a warrant, if a person is wanted, we are going to do our job to bring that person in. Let's not be mistaken by that. We are going to do our job. It may not be popular, but we are. But at the same time, we can do our job and still be compassionate. You know, we are accountable to our community. We're accountable to our pastors here. We're accountable to each other. And that's my true belief. And we're going to work hard. I know some in the community think we let them down. We're going to work hard to regain that trust. There are some that will look at this and look at it for what it is, and then there are some that's going to come up with a totally different narrative. You know, we live in a society where you have free speech, you have your own thoughts, you have your own ideas. That's fine. I'm not here to change it. I'm here to give you the facts. Fact one, we responded to a call for service where someone was armed. Fact two, we located the vehicle. Fact three, we took the individuals into custody. Fact four, as soon as we took them into custody, we started rendering our aid to the child. There's nothing else really there. Some people are going to try to make something up about it. That's fine. That's fine. That does not bother me. Because what they say will not deter me in my determination or this PD's determination on what we're going to do for this community. we are not going to stop serving this community. We're going to do it with respect, respecting all of our citizens and respecting each other. So with that said, is there anything else? Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending this. I wish it was on a different occasion where we're giving out some awards or saying something great about the mayor. And we'll remember next time to put something down here for him to write. Because he'll tell you if you don't have nothing written, he'll go. But we love our mayor, we love our city staff, we love our pastors, we love our community. And as long as we can engage in meaningful dialogue, then I can tell you we can get through anything. And this community is a very resilient community. This too shall pass. But guess what? We're going to be better because of it. And I'm going to take something from Sheriff Judd that he normally says, but I'm going to add something to it. Yeah, we mess up, we're going to fess up, we're going to fix up, and then we're going to follow up. We're not done with this young lady. Hopefully, if we're allowed to, we're going to try to do something and come up with something with this young lady. We'll see what we can do here in the future. But if that's it, thank you very much for your time.